You are about to enter the fantasy football show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía fútbol novelas. Espera con el patrón. Smitty is live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Get on-demand one-on-one text advice with Smitty at thefantasyfootballshow.com.
You are about to enter the fantasy football show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía fútbol novelas. Espera con el patrón.
Get on-demand one-on-one text advice with Smitty at thefantasyfootballshow.com.
You are about to enter the fantasy football show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía fútbol novelas. Espera con el patrón. Smitty is live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. You are about to enter the fantasy football show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía fútbol novelas. Espera con el patrón. You are about to enter the fantasy football show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasy football.
Live from the fantasyfootballshow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
What is going on, everybody? We're doing fantasy football news, phone calls, everything you can think of. If you're new to the show, welcome home. Welcome home. Subscribe if you're new. Punch the thumbs up button no matter what, and let's get into the news.
From the fantasyfootballshow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
So, kind of a lot going on today. First and foremost, we talked about both of these topics last show, so we won't beat a dead horse on the same stuff. Well, at least we'll try not to. But Breece Hall signing officially his rookie contract that was supposed to go down late yesterday, and we waited and we waited. We heard it would probably go down, and then it finally went down today. Hall signed a $9 million, 3.7 signing bonus deal with the New York Football Jets. Yes, I said New York Football Jets. I know Giants fans get mad when I say that, but I say it on purpose. I think the Jets are turning things around in similar fashion and blueprint to the Cincinnati Bengals. And you get people that come in all the time and say things like, the Bengals, you can't call them the Bengals. Yeah, actually I can, Bob, because I'm the one that said the Bengals would win the division and march into the playoffs the way they did, and everybody called me a fool. And I'm telling you right now, Smitty, the Jets are the Jets. How's Breece Hall? How's Breece Hall gonna do good on the Jets? He's on the Jets. The Jets never do good, Smitty. But Smitty. Just wait. Get your popcorn ready, you Breece Hall doubter, you. All you Breece Hall doubters out there, get ready. It's gonna be a painful year. This man, like I have on this graphic right here, on an Instagram post. I can't wait to read all the comments because I posted it just a little while ago. Hall will finish as a top 5 to 10 running back. And then you swipe. And the next slide, I say Hall's going to have 10 plus TDs. And then you swipe. And the next slide, go to my Instagram if you haven't already. You can follow me right here. So go check it out. And anyway, I put this carousel of graphics up, and I can't wait to hear all the pushback and people getting upset because it's the Jets. They couldn't possibly change, Smitty. I mean, I didn't watch the draft or anything, but they couldn't have possibly had the best draft in the history of the last, I don't know, decade? They couldn't have possibly had the best draft, Smitty, on both sides of the football. They would have to have had the best draft on both sides of the football, Smitty, for Breece Hall to be good. They did? Oh, never mind, Smitty. Love Breece Hall. Love Breece Hall. Like, look, is anybody asking you, is your boy Smitty asking you right now to draft this man inside the top 10?
Wrong.
No, I'm not. Is anybody asking you to take a big risk and be mad at me later because he takes maybe 4 weeks to get fully going, or 5 weeks, maybe 6 weeks? Yeah, draft him at your own risk if you're going to not listen to the instructions that go along with all the Breece Hall hype that I've been cranking out the last month. If you're going to go ahead and draft this guy, we have people that don't quite listen to what Smitty says. They hear what I say about a guy breaking out. They hear me talk about Kenneth Walker being a top 5 to 10 running back, Breece Hall being a top 5 to 10 running back, and then I hear a lot of, Smitty, you just love rookies. I don't love rookies. I didn't love Cam Akers. There's a lot of rookies. I don't love the wide receiver class. We'll talk about some wide receivers in a second because we got Christian Watson news. I don't love all rookies. I just know what time it is. And rookie running backs tend to hit things out of the park right out of the gate. And when you got a guy like Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker, who I projected, not because they're the top ranked rookies after the draft and everybody thinks they're good, so, I'll go ahead and jump on. These are two guys I projected and broke down to be really amazing football players at the next level, and if the right situation came along, they could become elite. Now, Kenneth Walker's got a little bit of a complicated situation. I don't think that it can't not be elite. It's just not going to be great out of the gate right now. And when I pump up Kenneth Walker's skill set, when I tell everybody how good this guy is going to be, and I get people in my mock drafts drafting him in the 3rd and 4th round, I scratch my head because that's not what I'm saying. Same thing with Breece Hall. He is a top 5 to 10 running back trapped inside a 4th round ADP, maybe mid 3rd round ADP. You know, in the 3rd round for sure, locked and loaded. Stop with the entire reaching process here, guys. Stop reaching on the guys that we're pumping up and making them, you're degrading their value. You're hurting their ADP, and you're putting all the risk on your plate. And then you're going to come to me later on and say, Smitty, like a guy said, Smitty, you're going to make me lose my league if Breece Hall busts. Do you realize that? And I said, Bob, the thing is, you're not going to, this is his voice. What am I doing? I'm saying, Bob, you're not going to lose your league, Bob. But Smitty, if you miss on Breece Hall, Smitty, I'm going to lose my league. No, you're not, because I'm telling you to draft him in the 4th round. I'm telling you to draft in the 3rd round. If this guy sat behind Carter at a 40% timeshare for 4 weeks, he would earn you mid 3rd to 4th round value. That's in your, not even worst case scenario, nightmare scenario. Okay, worst case scenario to me is in the 3rd, 4th round, you're getting a guy that might be 60-40 in the advantage with Carter for 3, 4, maybe 5 weeks. 60-40. He'll be fine. You want rookies to sometimes get inched along, pushed along slowly. You don't want these guys coming out of the gate getting Najee Harris type volume every single time. These rookies will hit rookie walls. Ease them in. It's fine. 60% is plenty for week 1. And that's what I project to happen. This guy's signed. This guy's a top 10 running back. Breece Hall to the moon.
To the moon.
He is one of the moon men.
The Moon Men, dropping loads in outer space.
Space Monsters.
Space Monsters is right. Breece Hall.
Get breaced. Get breaced. Get breaced.
Bring the Breece doubt. Bring the Breece hate. We love it. We live for it. This is why this man is already at the space station preparing for his final voyage over to the moon. He's already out of the atmosphere. Every single one of these guys is already out of the atmosphere.
The Moon Men.
Joe Burrow's already on the moon.
Loads in outer space.
Hall is at the space station preparing for his voyage. ETN, same thing.
Space Monsters.
Javonte, same thing. Trey Lance, same thing. Tony Pollard, same thing. Rachaad White is kind of in the atmosphere. He's not quite landed on the space station yet. Dalton Schultz is literally sitting in the space station now, pressing buttons, waiting to launch. So there's your moon men. For right now, I'm adding to it. Nobody complain. Nobody get all mad and say, where's Kenneth Walker? Just in due time. In due time. Let's have a little fun with it. And let's pump it up and let's add these guys slowly, if you know what I'm saying. Also, I want to thank everybody that is a YouTube exclusive member. We're going to do some YouTube exclusive chats throughout the week, every single week. And so if you're not a member of the YouTube exclusive membership, which I'm pinning right now in the live chat, and you can see the join button, I think, above the chat anyway, or somewhere, it might be somewhere above. But I pinned that chat, that link. And anytime anybody becomes a YouTube exclusive member, we do a standing ovation, mashed potato applause. Herbert is president of the Space Monsters. Just wait, Brian. Just wait until you find out what Herbert's role is, okay? Because he's going to be flying the shuttle, okay? He's not a part of this because he's already been exploring out in space for a while. He'll be flying this shuttle on over to the moon. So just have patience with that one. Yes, you're correct. Smitty thinking of trading the 1.1 for Fournette. Chucky, take a big lap. Okay, did you know Melvin Gordon went to Baltimore before he got re-signed in Denver and they turned him down and signed Mike Davis instead? Says Overcome. There was a lot of talk about why that deal fell through and Melvin Gordon was supposed to go to Baltimore. That's why I always use the example of if this button could send him to Baltimore in a trade, everybody and their mother would press it, and you'd press it recklessly. You'd think selfishly, you'd think short term. You'd be like, okay, if I press this button, Javonte Williams will be the lone back. But what I'm telling you is I wouldn't press this button because I feel that Melvin Gordon is a gift that keeps on giving. And if you don't press the button, and you could avoid sending Melvin Gordon to Baltimore in a trade right now, you would be doing yourself a service because now you get Javonte as your second drafted player. I don't know if you guys remember that two-headed monster video I did, and I'm gonna redo it because we can't really do it anymore with Javonte Williams, but it was a video where you literally would trade into a pick around 3 or 4 overall if you got the 1 pick overall. So you'd have the 1 and the 4. It was a way to deploy that two-headed monster approach that I feel like I coined like 20 years ago. But you basically, in a bunch of articles and bold predictions, and on CBS Sports Radio and NBC Sports Radio, talking about the two-headed monster, talking about bold trading, talking about draft pick trading. Look, some of you found me through the draft pick trading and aggressive like trade tactic and draft negotiation stuff because people tend to find my content through a search that finds draft pick trading, how to aggressively get into a two-headed monster. So your boy Smitty definitely, I feel like had something to do with that name, two-headed monster, in coining it. But trading up to Javonte, you don't have to do it anymore. You can get the organic two-headed monster now by having JT at 1 and maybe Javonte falling, or at least trading up a baby little trade up in the second round. And you could get the two-headed monster. JT and Javonte, imagine that two-headed monster. Imagine it. Unbelievable. What's up, Blackbeard? What's up, Silver? What's up, Ale? What's up, James? What's up, Kenny? Appreciate Silver. Everybody being in here. First in the building today was Bo, according to my Bo, Axe, and Jeb, and Big Dog, and Ron Navy, and Smitty80, and Nathan, and Blackbeard, and Chucky Fox, and Calvin, and James, and Raphael, and Dan, and Call Saul, and all you amazing people, Kenny P, Pearson, Jeff, thank you all for being here. You guys rock. I would keep going, but we have to move on. Thank you for the super chat, Overcome, and we'll definitely have the phone lines open if you want to call in a little bit. You've become kind of a usual calling in, pal. So appreciate you. Now, Lenny Fournette, we barked at him pretty hard yesterday. He barked back. He clapped back, not necessarily at us, but I think, at the fantasy football space in general, social media, the storm that came upon Leonard Fournette, the social storm, the social media negativity that I feel bad about partaking in. Look, I feel bad about it. I don't like making any player feel bad. I'm not saying he saw our stuff directly, but feeding into it. I know Josh Jacobs has seen a lot of my stuff because he blocked me because I blasted him that one year where he told all of his fans to F off and said F your fantasy, F this, F that. And so, sometimes you clap back at a player, very rarely, where I feel like I want them to see it and they deserve to see it, very rarely. But I have nothing bad against Fournette. He sounds like a good dude, in many ways. It seems like he is a family man. I'm not trying to make this man feel bad. I'm not trying to belittle him or talk about his weight or anything like that in a non-football sense. But this guy's got an obligation as a starting running back in the NFL, as a professional athlete, to bring his A game. And when there's a player that gets drafted behind him that we consider an absolute monster, Rashad White to the moon. We're going to kind of come for you a little bit and let you know that Rashad White's nipping at your heels. Rashad White season's in full effect. No one knows it yet. We know it here on the Fantasy Football Show. But this guy, Leonard Fournette, clapped back and said, I wouldn't have the same energy, or they wouldn't have the same energy in your face, so why entertain them? See you all on September 11th. Now, I like his attitude. I'm glad Leonard Fournette didn't pull a Josh Jacobs and do what he did. I'm glad he's taking it as motivation. Maybe I don't wish him failure. I don't wish him failure. I do feel like Rashad White's going to take his job. I do feel like there's some things that you can measure, some factual based things, like he's always hurt. You can look at his game log. You can look at his games missed every year. He doesn't play full seasons. I don't think he's ever played a full season. You can look at his drop passes. You can look at the fact that he came in overweight at 260 pounds. You can look at the fact that he's getting older, and dropping that weight is going to be extremely hard for his body to endure. And we saw the treadmill video. We're not making stuff up, okay? We have actual physical evidence as to this guy's potential maybe slide. Okay, maybe he climbs back up. I'm not saying it's impossible for him to regain what people thought he was holding in terms of value at second round ADP. You guys remember some of my mock drafts a couple months ago? Brian came in here and was pumping Fournette up, and I said, there's no way he's going in the second round on the regular, is he? And he was climbing. Brian was right. He climbed right into the 20, 18, 19, 20 range. He's been since the news that playoff Lenny has become 260 pound Lenny. And so there's a lot of people that are absolutely, dropping him into the third round, but there's still a lot of supporters that say they're going to buy on the dip, and that's fine. We're okay with this. I don't want Leonard Fournette to fall out of the third round. I think people misunderstand what I really want out of this. I want Leonard Fournette to go in round 2. I don't want you drafting Leonard Fournette in round 2, but why on earth would we not want Leonard Fournette to continue to go above players we like better? I want Breece Hall to fall below Leonard Fournette every single time. And Brian, if you're in here, I believe we had a Breece Hall versus Leonard Fournette bet. Someone right in here remind me what the bet was, if it was with Brian or who it was with. But it was Breece Hall versus Leonard Fournette, because I absolutely lost my mind when I found out that Lenny was going consistently in the 18 to 24 range. I lost my mind. I'm like, what year is this? Am I in Bizarro world? Where am I at? Why is Leonard Fournette going in the second round? Did I miss something? Did I just wake up from a coma and miss an entire season? What is going on here? I have a really good handle on ADP. I have 20 years of experience of knowing ADP like the back of my hand. And Leonard Fournette's second round ADP snuck up on me like the Bruce coming around the corner on a phone call. I just didn't see it coming. And so I lost it. I told Brian I'd make him a bet. I forget what the bet was. If someone could please let me know what it is. I believe Brian is in here. If Brian's not in here, you can come in and tell us later. East Coast Tatty, appreciate you being here. Anyway, this guy clapped back and said, I'll show you on September 11th. Show us, Lenny. Show us. This guy shows up 260 pounds. As you get older, dropping those LBs in a quick period of time is going to put your body in a weak state. A weaker state than it should be, right? Leonard Fournette is going to be vulnerable more so than ever to little nicks and bruises and injuries. And if you don't think that's the case, if you think, oh, Smitty, what makes you a doctor? You know what makes me a doctor? 20 years of not being a doctor and observing this stuff. I may not have a doctorate. I may not have a degree on the wall that says doctorate, but I've got a journalism degree and a psych degree, mind you. So maybe I can break it down from a psychology point of view, and maybe I don't have the skills of a doctor to break it down. Well, your boy Smitty comes with models and experience and 20 years of pattern recognition. Got that upside down. There we go. Patellar tendon. We got it all, bro. We got it all. Oh. Footlong Lenny. Lenny Lacey. You guys are brutal, bro. You guys are brutal. Meat suit Lenny. That meat suit was my comment about myself. I said I feel like when I'm running these days to belittle myself. I said, hey, look. I have a doctorate in ADP science. That's correct. Avatar. That's a great way to put it. Your boy Smitty said, okay, we're going to start talking about Leonard Fournette's weight gain. I don't want to body shame anybody. So I said, let's body shame myself. I feel like when I'm running right now these days, I'm running with a meat suit on. It's absolutely heavy. It's hard on my knees. This is what I almost said Eddie Lacy. Leonard Fournette's dealing with right now as he's trying to drop the LBs. He's dealing with it's a harder haul to pull around, bro. And you have knee issues or you have any kind of issues at all that could be creeping up, and you're older and you got to drop these big LBs. I don't think it's going to end well for him. Injury, if he has a tough time staying healthy on the regular, we got a YouTube exclusive member. Who do we have? David, kind sir. I had the alerts off for some reason. I don't know what was going on now, but David, let me throw you up on the screen here, kind sir. David is a YouTube exclusive member, everyone. Just joined right now. Let's put David up on the big screen here. David. Why is this not showing up? What is going on now? There we go. David, appreciate you.
Let's go! Mashed potatoes!
Yeah, buddy. Good job, David. Appreciate you, David. So David is a new YouTube member. If you join, you will also have your name up above. I'm not sure. I got to figure out why my alerts aren't coming up. But David, we salute you, David. We appreciate you. Leonard Fournette, avoid. J.K. Dobbins, we did all that yesterday. Avoid. Super chat above. Okay, let me go look for it. Super chat above. Who's this? Kenny Powers dropping a super. Love my boy Kenny. Kenny says, Silver's on the clock. Can you get his voicemail after the news? Yeah. Silver's on the clock. Can you get his voicemail? Yes, I will. I will get Breece after the call. All right. That's those two pieces of news. Now we got to move on to this piece right here. Okay. Christian Watson, second round wide receiver rookie for the Green Bay Packers, signed his 4-year rookie contract today. What do we expect out of this kid? Kentucky Fried Lenny, you guys are brutal. That's one I've seen before, I think, but that one's bad. What do I think of Christian Watson? I think Christian Watson has a real opportunity to by like week 5, 6, 7, 8, somewhere around mid-season, to get a real grip on the number one wide receiver work in Green Bay. Now, Aaron Rodgers usually takes a lot longer to build rapport. 140 of you in here, please punch the thumb up button. I appreciate everybody being here. Subscribe if you're new.
Hit that subscribe button if you're new, and wipe your feet at the door.
Welcome home. Christian Watson like, normally Aaron Rodgers moves these wide receivers along slowly, but he's got a short window of time. Aaron Rodgers doesn't have time to mess around. On top of that, he doesn't have a wide receiver room. It's very thin. So he's going to force Watson along quicker than we've ever seen him force a rookie along. So I don't want to hear, no, he doesn't ever, rush wide receivers along. It's a totally irrelevant, statement or way of looking at this. It's a totally different scenario. So I think Watson has a real opportunity by, I don't know, I would say mid-season, maybe week 6, week 7, week 8. I don't know when their bye week is, but coming off the bye week. When's the Packers bye week? Somebody give me the bye week for the Packers. Also, we got a vote here. Breece Hall, this vote I'm going to pin in the chat right now. This Hall, how many touchdowns will Breece Hall score in 2022? Let's all drop a vote in here. Okay? I guess you won't know the number I put, right? It isn't glaring. Here's the link for the vote, and then I'll repin the exclusive membership. But here's the vote. Let's see what you all think. Replace pin link. There we go. That link is pinned. Let's watch these live results come rolling in and see what you all think about Breece Hall and touchdown production. Okay, so why is that over there? I have to figure out why my alerts are over there. Breece Hall, 6 to 10 TDs, 8 votes, and you can see the results live here. We got a super chat from Where Are We Now? Where Are We Now wants to know, where are we now? I don't know. Appreciate you being here. If you have a question, ask it, and I will answer you, my good buddy. Appreciate the super chat. 14 votes, 6 to 10. 7 votes, 11 to 14. 3 votes for 0 to 5. Who in here, raise your hand. Does anybody want to call in if you believe that he will not score, Breece Hall will not score more than 5 TDs? I would love for you to call in and state your case. I'm not mad at you. I'm not going to go at you. I just want you to call in and explain yourself. We've got 3 votes for 15 plus. Who are those? That's not me. You saw my vote ahead. I had 11 to 14. I think he's going to score between like 10 and 13 touchdowns. I really do. I think Breece Hall's going to have a big rookie year. But very, very, very impressed by 3 people thinking 15 or more. I like that. 6 to 10 is the overwhelming favorite so far. 21 votes. 11 to 14, 9, and 0 to 5, 3 votes. I'm very, very intrigued by that 0 to 5, and I want someone to call in. Here's the phone line.
Call into the show. Dial 602-NFL. Dong.
So dial in. Let's check back on this poll later. But you guys can dial into the phone line now.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Call into the show. Dial 602-NFL. Dong.
I can't move this. I'm trying to move this right here. It's so annoying. We got these super chats dropping in and I can't see them. And I got to figure out why. So bear with me as I try and grab this and pull it over. James Conklin's calling in. James, you're live on the Fantasy Football Show. What can I do for you?
What's up, Smitty? I think a lot of people aren't understanding the Breece Hall situation fully. I think they're just falling into the Jets are the Jets. They're always going to be the Jets.
Well, I don't know if people aren't understanding the full Breece Hall situation as much as they refuse to accept it. I mean, people aren't just like sleeping at the wheel. They know they had a good draft. They had to have heard it by now. People are watching football.
Not even that. They've been building an offensive line for 3 years. You still have Mekhi Becton. That offensive line is going to be atrocious when it comes to running the ball. You can't just sit there and pack the box against Breece Hall because they have wide receivers. They have a quarterback that will sling.
Well, bro, remember I went through this to an extreme degree with the Bengals, and now that looks laughable. Like people people looking back on those people that would come at my neck and say, Bengals win the division. Are you out of your mind? You know how good the Browns are? Smitty, do you know how good the Browns are? Look at the Browns now.
The Browns, right?
You know what I mean?
The Browns
Like,
are trash.
How can the Jets not turn it around? They literally transformed their entire offense and their entire defense in the draft alone that we just witnessed. And people are literally trying to pin they are the Jets. Like I don't understand it. I don't understand how people don't consider the rookie draft that they just dropped. This is the best draft I've ever seen, bro, from a team, because of how they hit it on both sides of the football.
They hit a slam dunk with their last receiver draft. Like, it's not like they're not going to be able to possess the ball, right? Robert Saleh is a defensive coach. He wants to grind the game out at most, right? Like, so even if he is in a 40% split, he's going to get maybe 16, 17 touches, not even including anything in the passing game. Like, it's atrocious what people are saying about the Jets. And that offensive line is better than the Bengals were last year.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. Let's check out the poll. Let's see what people are saying. So on the poll, we have 6 to 10 touch.
I got him 11 to 15.
Yeah, I put him at I put him in 11 to 14 just to kick the poll off, but I easily could see him scoring 15 touchdowns. But I think it's safe to say like 10 to 14. I think is where I kind of feel safe about it. I don't want to be reckless with it. I don't want to get people overly excited. But 11 to 14 is where I put him. 25 votes, 6 to 10. That's not bad. Majority, so with 35 votes, only 7 votes had him, or no, only 4 votes had him below the 6 touchdowns. Yeah, we have 3 people with the 15. So you voted 15.
Those are people that have Michael Carter in their dynasty league, man. Mm-hmm. Like, they have to.
Yeah, probably, bro.
But what you don't understand is they traded up to get him. They valued this guy as a first round pick.
Yeah, people just don't want to see it, man.
That's all
I don't know what it is. I don't know why. I have no explanation for it, bro.
I mean, keep pushing him down. I'll keep getting him after ETN. Like, my backfield is going to be Javonte, ETN, and Breece Hall, and I'm going to tell him to cash my money.
I know, bro. Especially if you get like, imagine getting, Jamar Chase, Javonte, Breece Hall, ETN.
Chase is my keeper.
Yeah, but bro, you can draft this team right here. Look. I don't know if you can see my screen. This is probably my favorite team that you could, this is one of the favorite teams that you can assemble. Hold on. Marker down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I don't know if you can see my screen, but let's say you get Jamar Chase right here. Let's say you get Javonte right here. Let's say you get ETN right here, or Breece Hall, vice versa, whichever one. So Hall here, and who knows who you get in 5, but you get Burrow in round 6. Like this right here. Like, how do you not win your league with Jamar Chase, Javonte, ETN, Hall, Burrow, and I don't know who? Let's just say you steal someone in 5 or you don't. That's a league winner. And of course, I love my good old Swifty. Swift at that pick.
Dude,
and then here you go. Let's say you go ETN or Hall. You pick one in the 3rd round. Let's just say you take Hall, because we're on the topic of Hall. And then you get DK, and then you get like whoever right here. Like that wins leagues too.
Yeah, that's literally my game plan for my 14-year PlayStation Buddy League. Like, that is my game. I already got Chase. Everybody's sleeping on Javonte. No matter where I'm at in the 2nd round, I'm picking Javonte.
Yeah.
And then if I can get ETN and Hall, it's a wrap.
Bro, it's like more.
Quarterbacks go late in my draft.
It's more than a wrap. It's like a slam dunk home run. No one sees it coming. It seems.
Basically, I had Stafford instead of Burrow with basically that team and Jefferson, and I got 2nd because they set Jamar Chase there.
It's crazy, bro. It's absolutely crazy. It's asinine. Yeah. All right, what else you got? Anything else?
Cup in the championship. No, that's it, man. I just wanted to call and put a little perspective, because I'm seeing way too much Breece hate on our channel, which doesn't make any sense, because you called Najee Harris, you called Javonte. Like, I don't get it. You called Chase. Everybody was saying, "Oh, Chase can't catch the ball." Yeah. So.
How, Smitty, is Joe Burrow going to get the football to Chase if he's on his back, Smitty? And I will admit, they needed to address the offensive line.
Remember that.
And I'll admit, bro, they didn't do a good job drafting offensive line in the draft. Like, they drafted Chase, amazing, and then there were a lot of great linemen. I don't know if anybody remembers, but last draft, not this draft, last draft was the most heavy offensive skill position draft I've seen in my 20 years. I've never seen.
I'm in Kansas City.
I've never seen.
I know the offensive linemen that were drafted in KC. So,
but I've never seen offensive skill positions, quarterbacks, running backs, wide receiver, like tight end, like it was so stacked that defensive players and offensive linemen couldn't even find their way in round one. Yep. And the Bengals really did botch offensive line drafting. They had an opportunity to land some big players in the offensive line game, and they did a bad job. But that doesn't mean Chase was the wrong pick, and they obviously proved that. But now that they've improved the offensive line anymore, I don't understand why people don't like Burrow this year. If Burrow gets a lot, like, I don't know if you know this, but Burrow gets about, out of every 10 people, maybe 3 people you talk to are like, yeah, not interested in Burrow.
And they're giving him the number 3 receiver and the number 10 receiver in ECR. So why are you not taking Burrow? I don't understand it, man.
You know,
like,
maybe Hurst becomes pretty good too. Mixon's got the 1 year left before I start looking at him year by year. Like, I'm not saying Mixon can't do it for 2 more years. I'm just saying there's certain players, like even McCaffrey. Like,
I mean,
you gotta go 1 year at a time
Mixon,
at this point.
I'm looking to Dilly.
Yeah, you know what I would love? I'd
look to flip him for Javonte in a heartbeat.
Bro, you know what I want more than anything? And a lot of people are gonna. I want the Bengals to trade for Clyde Edwards-Helaire because Joe Burrow loves this kid, and I feel like he would do well under Joe Burrow and get back under. You know, you got Chase, you got Burrow, you got Clyde. I think it'd be a pretty darn good move, especially with Mixon getting older. And if Clyde isn't, they don't want him to be the guy in KC. I would love to see him go and be successful over in Cincinnati because Joe Burrow would make sure he's on the field all the time. Because Joe Burrow, he considers him the best player in the nation coming out of college. He did. So that's what Joe Burrow said. He said Clyde Edwards-Helaire is the best player in football.
If he doesn't do anything in KC, he might be able to do it in free agency. He might just be able to walk into Burrow's hands.
Maybe. I have a funny feeling we will see Clyde somehow, some way in Cincinnati at some point. But I understand people are going to get upset at that. People have a really bad taste left in their mouth about Clyde. They literally, like, some people don't even see value in 7th-round value this year. They're like, no, I'm not going near him. And I get why. But to me, I think Clyde's good in round 7. He's kind of a little better in 7 than he is 6, but I absolutely love.
Yeah, so if ETN keeps rising and I don't get him in the 3rd round, right? Somebody pops him late 2nd, say.
Yeah.
Or they get him right before I can in the 3rd round. I'm happy to take Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the 7th round.
Bro,
I'll be able to strengthen my receiver core or get hit. One of the two is there. You know what I mean? Like,
bro, the 2 best. Not to change topics again, but the 2 best picks in fantasy football. The like, if anybody was to just listen to this and then walk away and never watch my show again, this is what I would say for 2022. I would say in this area, I'm going to circle both the 3rd and 4th round. I'm going to say Breece Hall. And then I'm going to say, here's 5 and 6. I'm going to put it right in the middle of this because you don't really know. And I'm going to see Joe Burrow. These 2 are the best picks in fantasy football 2022 because of the fact that they could explode from these positions. And their floor is I feel like their floor is above their ADP. I feel like in the worst case scenario, in Hall's worst case scenario, he's playing right here. His floor is not even where he's getting drafted. And you can't say that about a lot of players. Sometimes the floor dips a little bit below their ADP. And Burrow's floor, he could be the number 1, number 2, or number 3 overall scorer in fantasy football 2022. His floor is somewhere in here. He's where Josh Allen's, getting drafted, his floor. And the one thing I always tell people, the quarterbacks are undervalued on draft day when the whistle blows. Thank you, Michael. Subscribe to the channel, baby. Appreciate you. When a player's undervalued, bro, when week 1 starts and no one will trade that player for anything close to their ADP when it comes to like a quarterback. So like example, Mahomes. Mahomes will go around 4. But as soon as week 1 starts, no one's going to trade him as a 4th rounder. They'll want like 3rd or even late 2nd round value. So like that tells you something about quarterback value on draft day. They're undervalued. And because everybody else undervalues them, it makes sense.
You have a lot of positions to fill, and you think only 12 guys are worth a damn. That's why.
But Josh Allen, do you think Josh Allen goes for anything in 3rd round value territory in a trade after week 1? Absolutely not. No one's trading Josh Allen for a 3rd round type player.
You got to give up you got to give up at least a wide receiver 2 and a running back 1 to get Josh Allen.
Yeah. So that tells you something. So when people come at my neck and say, Smitty, early quarterback stupid, there's so many deep quarterback, it's a deep quarterback class. It is a deep quarterback class. And your boy Smitty likes to dabble in the late quarterback drafting as well when it all falls right. But I'll take Josh Allen all day if he's the best player on the board. I'll take Joe Burrow all day in late 5, early 6. And I can almost guarantee you that he's 100% the best player available almost any time I'm on the clock in round 6. If I'm on the clock at 6.1 and Joe Burrow's there, I don't see how there could be anybody but somehow Breece Hall fell because people are just morons or something in the draft. There's no way I could even find a player at 6.1 that will beat Joe Burrow. So when I tell you not to draft a set concrete plan of attack, if Joe Burrow's there at 6.1, I can almost guarantee you he's the best player on the board.
Let me ask you a question. Would you take Joe Burrow or would you take Amon St. Brown?
Joe Burrow.
You take Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow.
So, because you're not going to trade Joe Burrow straight up for Amon St. Brown.
Nobody's going to do
So
that. In week 1, you have to give up 3 St. Browns to get him. People don't know what, like I'm telling you, I want to do a whole video on this because people don't know what they're saying when they say don't take a quarterback early. They're so valuable when you have that guy. If you don't know if you have that guy, when somebody says, Smitty, they're all so close, I'd rather just take, an Aaron Rodgers or a Stafford down around 10. You know what that person's telling me? I don't know who's number 1, Smitty. I just have a tier of quarterbacks, and that's that. Like if someone tells me that, then that tells me that they don't know. They don't have, when somebody says, hey, I'll just take the 3rd pick because I don't know who I want at 1.1. I'd rather just get who's left over. That's the dumbest way to draft. That person's boring.
No.
That person's, why you even play? Why you even play fantasy if you want the 3rd pick so that someone else can make the decision for you? You know what I mean? Like that's a hogwash.
Right.
It's ridiculous. So
I
when
think
someone
a lot
says
of people fall in love, they fall in love with those tier rankings. The overall top.
Yeah,
200.
that's why I don't do tier rankings to some degree. They irritate me, man. And I like tiers because I feel like it's a good way to I do tier work, and I'm going to do a tier video, and I don't know how often I'll do tier rankings during the season because there's some value to it, to know how far a player is away from the next tier. But I always preface it with a real stern, if you draft based on tiers, I'm just going to take people, bro, there are people out there that create content that say you take an RB in round 1, you take an RB in round 2, you take a wide receiver in round 3. Why even play? Why not set your team on auto draft and just go have a ham sandwich? I have no idea why you would even play if you're literally going to draft RB. Okay, wait, who's next? RB. I'm just going to go into this tier, this bucket, stick my hand in, and pull a running back out. What kind of fun is that? Draft the best player available every single time you're on the clock. It's very simple, but no one does it with discipline. The tiers, I can't emphasize it enough. The tiers are very important conceptually to understand how far away Trey Lance is from tier 1. To find out how far away Russell Wilson is from getting into tier 1. But you can't draft off tiers.
You would give up 3 players on your team to go get Trey Lance.
Yeah, it's.
You see, I don't understand it. Even though if you look at the ranking, he's in tier 6, tier 7, right? 5 quarterbacks are going ahead of you. But if somebody offered you Trey Lance in week 4, your quarterback gets hurt, you're going to give up a running back 2, you're going to give up a tight end 1 to go get Trey Lance. And you're going to cripple your team all because you didn't draft effectively. You chased you chase ECR.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Hey, I got to get to these super chats, but I appreciate you, James. You probably have one of the longer calls where nobody wanted to kick you off. So appreciate the call and call in anytime.
Swaggy P, real quick. Swaggy P said I was drinking the Kool-Aid. You won me 4 leagues and I placed second in my 5th.
Look,
I'm
gonna
drink the damn
James.
Kool-Aid.
James, you clearly have your own opinion. Like you clearly come in with conviction. You're not just repeating what I say. You believe similar things to me. You don't believe what I believe. You believe similar things to me. And Swaggy sometimes, I love Swaggy, and Swaggy does show the show support for the most part. But Swaggy, no, stop saying people are drinking the Kool-Aid or everybody's just agreeing with Smitty. That's not what it is, bro. We are a collection of like-minded people, and there are plenty of people that disagree in the chat constantly. But like, just because somebody agrees or loves to get on board of the Breece Hall shenanigans we got going on here or whatever, doesn't mean someone's drinking Kool-Aid. It's demeaning, Swaggy, to sit here and tell this man James Conklin he's following somebody and doesn't have a mind of his own. Just stop it.
Hey man, I'm cashing Cash App checks, so I ain't worried about it.
Yeah, this boy's walking to the digital bank as we speak. All right, James, go win a couple more championships. Check back in with me. Call in anytime.
Absolutely. Have a good show.
Later. Okay, where were we at? Super chats. So we got Brian. I'll get to this question in 1 second. We got Ron saying it's a trap. Ron, when did you say that? That's so long ago. I forget what topic we're talking about. Fournette? I don't know. Let me know, Ron. Derek Lincoln says Lenny Fournette. I guess I didn't need to rush over to these super chats. They've been on screen getting their airtime. Lincoln, Derek in the house. Appreciate you guys all. I think I got my alert thing set up right again, so I don't know why that changes every once in a while, but appreciate everybody who's dropping super chats, who's subscribing to the show, and anybody that's joining the YouTube exclusive membership. Let's check in on the poll. This poll has 27 votes for Breece Hall. The poll is pinned in the live chat. I'm going to take the pin link away, so if anybody wants to vote before we close the poll, the link is in the pin chat message over there. So click it, vote, let us know what you think. But 27 votes for Breece Hall for scoring 6 to 10 touchdowns. 10 votes for him scoring 11 to 14. 5 votes for him to score 0 to 5 touchdowns. We got 5 people that don't really like Breece Hall, which is fine. We all have our different opinions. And we have 3 people that think he's dropping 15 plus. That's a lot. And I like it. I'm fine with it. I'm not mad at anybody. So 27 votes, 10. We got a lot of votes here on this one. I like it. Good job voting, guys. And let's get back to the phone lines here.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Call into the show. Dial 602 NFL. Dong.
Dial in and let's get to the next topic. Lot to talk about, and we actually have to get back to the news in a minute because I didn't finish going through the news stuff. But guys, subscribe to the YouTube exclusive membership. If you do, I will give you a standing ovation. I will also put you over here on my thank you page, which I have 2 pages so far. Page 1, top super chatter of the year. Why does this keep reverting back to Avatar? It's Mark Cleveland. Oh, no, it is Avatar. I'm sorry. I'm getting confused. It is Avatar. Avatar. Sorry, Avatar. I was blanking out. I meant to say it was saying Mark Cleveland. My fault. So Avatar is the top super chatter of the year in a single live stream. Mark Cleveland was knocked off at 450. And so anybody that gets this top spot is going to be at the top left. You can see at the top left corner in blue, Avatar's name sits there. And every single Monday through Friday show at 7 p.m. And remind me if I have that not up. But Roger with the $2 super chat. Roger, thank you. Smitty, can we get a moonshot for our boy Joey B? Absolutely. Right after this, I'm doing a moonshot for you, pal. Roger and Joey B. A single moonshot. These are all of our top super chatters. Seth Jocelyn, the Jocelyn brothers, even though they're not related. Pretty Richie, Michael K. CPA, Niner by Nature, Mark Cleveland, all the top super chatters of the year. And then these are all the YouTube exclusive members. If you become a member, I'll throw you up here. And I'm going to thank everybody at least once a show during the Monday through Friday shows. And this is page 2 as we collect more and more. And then we had a new one today that I got to add on there. You're live on the Fantasy Football Show. Who am I talking to? It was David. Thank you, David. What's up?
Yeah, you're talking to Breece Hall. I'm not scoring more than 5 touchdowns this year, man. I play for the Jets. We're trash.
Yeah, who is this?
All our quarterback wants to talk about is Mills. I mean, I don't know how you can draft me where you're drafting me.
You got Mike White, don't worry.
All I can tell you is I'm not scoring more than 5 touchdowns this year, man.
Who am I talking to?
Yeah, this is Breece Hall.
Get breezed. Hold on.
Get breezed. Get breezed. Get breezed.
I thought maybe he was really a Breece fan and he was just trying to set it up, and I'm like, okay. All right, what do you want to say positive about Breece? But maybe he was a Breece hater. I don't know. Anyway, get breezed. Get breezed. So here's the thank you. Page 2. David's going to be added to that, and another couple other people will be thrown up on this board. So get ready. It's going to be lit. Gonna be lit. Aaron, what's up, Aaron? Fantasy Dog in the house. Avatar, appreciate you. Identify yourself. We got to have a button for that. Identify yourself. Can we make that real quick? Hold on. I'm sorry to do this live, but I need to do it. I'm going to miss your call. Call in again. I missed your call. Call in again. That's probably them calling back. I bet you they identify yourself. Hold on. Let's make that. Call back in. I missed your call. Here we go. Identify yourself. Identify yourself. We're going to throw that up. We'll make it better, but for right now, at least we'll have it. ID yourself. Okay, let me throw this up. If we need to play it, we'll have it. And then we'll do it live. All right, you going to call back? Hit that like button. Brian says it's clapping cheeks. Breece Hall, a silent partner. Why didn't we talk? Oh, YouTube. Pearson, join the YouTube memberships. Pearson gets a round.
Let's go! Mashed potatoes!
Yeah, buddy. What's up? You're live on the Fantasy Football Show. Identify yourself.
Smitty, what's up, man? It's your boy, Gary. How you doing, man?
Who is it?
Gary, you finally gave me back my chat room right, so I appreciate you hooking me up, man. But I got a question for you.
Oh, Gary.
What's your thoughts with the extra Week 18 game and teams possibly tanking, for getting like a quarterback? I know last year a lot of people were kind of hurt by Jalen Hurts late in the season, kind of supposedly getting benched for injury, but a lot of people feel like that was just for tanking to kind of move up in the draft. Do you feel like any teams are running that risk this year?
You never know, man. When you add a new dynamic where we haven't seen a lot of years of it, we don't know how it's gonna play out. I did have concerns right when it was announced that we'd be going, an extra game. I thought to myself, from a fantasy perspective, I wondered if teams would still lock up, their playoff spot at the same rate, and then you'd have teams sitting some of their stud players in the final 2 weeks of the season, which I think could still happen if things, especially with the way the divisions are right now. I don't know if anybody else has thought about this, but, some of these AFC teams are so good. Part of me wonders how early some of them could clinch playoff spots. And I know that the AFC West is they're going to beat each other up. So maybe it'll be the complete opposite where it comes down to the wire. So it's tough to know. And until we know that, I don't know what teams are going to do if they're really out of it really early. Think about it, the AFC West, how powerful it is. If they grab all 3 of the wild card spots, Somehow they're gonna have to play each other, so they're gonna have losses. But part of me is like wondering, how early things get locked up, and I don't think teams are gonna, on a grand scale, do that. No, but we don't know. We got to see it play out for a few years before we know what's what.
Got you. Hey, I know you do a lot of best ball, and I've been getting in more best ball. I do use your promo code, so appreciate you shouting that out.
And that promo code, Smitty, go to the link down below. Promo code Smitty, Underdog Fantasy. Use promo code Smitty. There's so many advantages of playing best ball right now while Breece Hall sitting there in the 4th round, while Burrow's sitting there in round 6, while DK Metcalf's sitting there in 4 or 5. Like, you got to play best ball and you take advantage of it. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Have you thought about like that? I mean, in order to win one of those big tournaments, you kind of have to have a Week 17 lineup that's really stacked, and you want guys that are almost unowned. So are there any like Week 17 matchups that you're looking at and trying to like do those like kind of unpredictable stacks, like a Donald Parham against the Rams or something like that? Are you looking at anything like that in Week 17?
I haven't done too much of that, to be honest, for my best ball drafts. I to be completely honest, I haven't had time to. I wing my lives, bro. So like I got so much on my plate. But let's look at Week 17 and see if there's anything interesting. So like, you got the Cowboys, Titans. The problem is we don't know what team could be potentially, like I said, dialing it back in Week 17, and might they sit players a little earlier or something, especially if they've got the division clinched up, and so it's kind of hard to know, this far out. But I don't know. I mean, you look at that Denver and KC matchup. There's a good chance that what I said, the second part of what I said, is true, where maybe it's down to the wire, and that game is just absolutely bananas. Like there's a lot of cool matchups that week that I feel like teams that might, like the Rams and Chargers, the Bills and Bengals are the Monday night game. There's a lot of great matchups. I don't know. I don't see anything that pops out as like a crafty, situation that I don't think anybody would see coming. I'll have to take a look and deep dive in it before I can come up with something off the top of my head. But I'm looking at it now, and there's a lot of great matchups, man. Raiders, Niners, Saints, Eagles. Colts could be really crafty against the Giants. And the Colts, I think, they'll probably win the division, but it could be close, and they may need to blast through the Giants in that game. So like things like that, I'll have to look at it a little bit deeper. But to be honest with you, I don't put too much stock into that, because you start doing that and then you start influencing who you're taking. And I don't know that I'm going to ever let a bye week or a matchup ever detour me away from taking the better player. You know what I mean? So I don't really prescribe to that notion anyway. That like if you go ahead and get some kind of crafty Week 7, but will I pick up a guy, like you said, Parham or whatever? Like that's interesting. Like maybe your last pick, second or last pick. Like maybe you say to yourself, just like tossing something out, but like Taysom Hill, you thought something was going to be cooking with Taysom Hill at the end of the year or something like that. You don't believe in Winston staying healthy, like stuff like that. But past that, bro, I don't really change anything. I take the best player available. I don't really worry about matchups and bye weeks. I don't care if all my bye weeks are in 1 week. In best ball is a little different because you got that Week 14, and that can complicate some things. But at the same time, you got to ask yourself, in the best ball, it's most of them are weeks 1 through 14, right? So if you have JT on a bye in Week 14, you got him for 13 weeks. If you can't be one of the top 2 teams in your league to advance to the next round in, let's say, the Underdog drafts, by having no bye weeks of JT for 13 straight weeks, then you probably don't deserve to be the final 2 team, one of the final 2 teams anyway. So you can kind of like, rationalize it any way you want. What else you got?
Cool, man. Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, appreciate you. Got anything else?
That's about it, man. Breece Hall to the moon, baby.
Breece Hall to the moon. All right, thank you, man. Call in again. If you forget something, call in again today. It doesn't matter.
Sounds
Thanks,
good.
Thanks, Gary. Bye. You're live on the Fantasy Football Show. Identify yourself.
Hey, Smitty, I just had a question. So I'm in a 14-team league, and I was wondering if you approach that differently in the draft at all, with more teams taking tight end and quarterbacks.
Identify yourself. Who am I talking to?
This is Michael.
Michael, okay. Sorry. I was pressing. I'm not sure if you can hear. You probably can't hear the show. You're just on the phone, but I put identify yourself, and it just kept,
I heard it.
I kept pressing it. Okay. Michael. Is this Michael KCPA?
No.
Okay.
This is Michael, the guy that won the bet with you that Aaron Rodgers was going to stay in Green Bay.
Oh, Mike. What's your YouTube name?
Just Michael. My name, Michael Castro.
Okay, Michael. I'm going to put you in my phone here. Michael. Gotcha. Appreciate the call. So your question was, restate it one more time. Sorry, I was messing around with state your name, and I wasn't paying good attention. I'm being a bad host. I'm sorry.
You're good. So I'm in a 14-team redraft, and
14 team, okay.
I treat it the same as a 12-man league, but I'm wondering, should I put more emphasis on the tight end and quarterback position during the draft?
No, I mean, I don't think it changes much, bro. Like, the funny thing is, like, I know I repeat myself a lot, and, like, I'm not frustrated by repeating it either, but it's like, it doesn't change anything. Best player available is best player available. Now, you do factor in positional need. You do factor in scarcity of position. Like, me just saying best player available doesn't mean go to the ADP rank and take the top guy ranked. Like, some people think that's what I mean, and it's just like, I shake my head. But I'm not going to draft a position ever. I'm never going to draft a position. I'm going to take who I deem the best player on the board every time. And so that could be a tight end based on the flow of the draft. But I'm certainly not going to just go target positions. Like, I can't stand that style of play where I'm going to go, okay, I'm going to, or I worked with a guy once when I, long time ago, fantasy football, that would always do that. He'd always say running back. You always got to go running back. And I argue with him all the time. And I was like, bro, you can't do that. You can't just say running back. You could say oftentimes running back is the best player available in the 11 pick or the 12 pick or whatever. Like, just like at 12 and 13, I can tell you with certainty that, to me, Swift and Javonte are the best players available if both of them are there, and Kupp's gone, Chase is gone, Jefferson's gone, and Najee's gone. So if all those guys are gone, Swift and Javonte almost 99.9% of the time will be the best players on the board, no matter who's there. Like, that's just how I see it. So I could do stuff like that, but you gotta be able to adjust and adapt. But like for a 14-teamer, Freiermuth, Dawson Knox, those guys are still gonna be guys I'm targeting as my tight end, and maybe other people will see the scarcity of it. But like Joe Burrow's still probably going to go around what would equate to like the 5.5 to 6.1, or 5.1 to 6.1. So that will be a little earlier on in your draft because you have 14 teams instead of 12. But I don't think it changes anything, man.
Yeah. The other question too, I was just wondering, like, targeting Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker. I just want to make sure I don't wait too long, because the round, as you get deeper in the draft, like the 6th round that you say is almost like my 5th round. So I just try to like keep in mind of that too,
Yeah. I would say, so like, I would just find out what the number is too. Like, so what draft slot do you have?
I don't know yet. That's the thing.
Yeah. So 6, so I'd say like around 72 to 75 overalls where you'd start looking at Kenneth Walker, but you want to take him well past 75 overall, probably.
Okay.
Breece Hall, anywhere in round 3 in a 14-teamer, anywhere around. I don't care if it's 3.1. He's a home run smash in a 14-team league.
Yeah.
ETN's
like
a smash anywhere in round 3. ETN smash him in round 3. Burrow in round 5, total smash.
Last year I waited on quarterback, and I got bit by Ryan Tannehill, so I want to make sure that doesn't happen again.
Yeah. Well, that's why you take best player available. So if Burrow is sitting there around 5, Burrow. Punch it. Don't even. Early quarterback. I laugh at people when they say Burrow in round 5 or 6 is early quarterback. What kind of definition of early quarterback does a person have when they call it that early quarterback?
I got people that'll take quarterback in round 1.
Yeah, early quarterback. I'll show you early quarterback. What else you got?
Oh, that's it, man. That was my only question.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
Yep. Thanks.
Later. All right, that was Michael. Appreciate Michael. Call anytime, Michael. Ryan says, I said I'd answer this a while ago. Smitty, would you draft Allen in round 2? I've drafted him at the turn, like 24. I've drafted him at like 211, 2.11. But only like with you guys, when you snipe everybody. I don't think I'll draft Josh Allen knowing Joe Burrow is really likely to be there for me to just hit a home run, you know? Bear with me 1 second. Yeah, I absolutely love you're live on the Fantasy Football Show. Identify yourself.
Hey,
Who?
I'm here to defend the honor of Melvin Gordon.
Who is this?
Dragging his name through the mud pretty hard, man.
Who is this?
I mean, this is Melvin Gordon we're talking about.
Who is this?
This is Andy.
Oh, Andy. What's up, Andy?
Yeah. What's up? So, I mean, I know you've been dragging Melvin Gordon through the mud pretty bad. I mean, this is Melvin Gordon we're talking about. He is a professional at all levels of the game. I mean, he's coming in ready to go. You comparing him to Naheem Hines, which is pretty bad to me. I mean, this is no.
I agree.
Hines.
I agree with
Gordon
you. I agree with you. He's like Naheem Hines. I agree.
Mean, he's ready to go. He's a pro. You know, he's in shape.
These sound like facts,
he's there
bro.
to play.
You're
You're
spitting like science at me. Like these all sound like really hardcore arguments. He's ready to go. He's a professional. Like everything you're saying to me is like just hardcore science, bro. Like I don't even know how to defend it.
Okay. What do you want to know? He had a better yards per carry than Javonte Williams last year.
Hey, you're really going to try and compare stats with Javonte Williams, the number 1 tackle breaker in the entire National Football League? Are you really going to go there? Really?
Oh, yeah, we could go there. We absolutely can go there because he did have a better yards per carry. It doesn't matter if you do one thing better than a running back. A running back is a compilation of skills. So you have to put all of the skills together.
How many leagues do you own him in, Melvin Gordon?
No, I don't own Melvin Gordon in any leagues.
How many leagues are you going to own him in?
No, I'll own him for sure. For sure, I'll own him.
Yeah.
But it's one thing to just sit here and say that Javonte is so much better, and then you compare Javonte to JT, which was a little absurd. You're just making all these weird comparisons that make no sense.
Like what?
So, I mean, what do you think? It's going to be a 70-30 Javonte split?
In time, sure.
And so for the first half of the year, you're going to be trotting Javonte out there.
At 55, 60% of the work week 1 could definitely be a scenario we're looking at. And with the efficiency of the offense, absolutely. I'm shoving Javonte out there at that efficiency level. I mean, this offense runs the ball well. As you're stating, the yards per carry for both of these individuals is really good. And Melvin Gordon is a horrible yards per carry guy on his career. So you coming out and saying he had more yards per carry doesn't mean anything.
No, he's not really. I mean,
he's not 3.5 in 2015, 3.9 in 2016, 3.9 in 2017. 2018 he had 5.1. He did good there, 800 yards though. Then in 2019, 3.8. What are you talking about? He's a 3.9 yard per carry running back, bro. 3.9 yards per carry. Your argument here was that he's a professional. Your argument is he's a professional. He came to play, and he's a yard per carry monster when he's a pedestrian 3.9 yards per carry running back. 3.9. That's what he averages. The only reason he's above 4 is because he's in Denver.
4.2. Javonte career, 4.4.
Bro,
JT career 5.5.
Bro, Javonte Williams just proved he's the best running back in the NFL by certain matrix that you can't argue against, bro.
By a tackle breaking matrix?
By tackle breaking, by efficiency. Do you know he was the number 1 efficient?
No, he's not.
Would you listen for a second? Learn something for a second. Javonte Williams, according to PFF, is the number 1 running back in the entire league in efficiency, bro. What do you got to say to that? You can't argue that. You can say you like Melvin Gordon. You can say that Melvin Gordon might be a fly that doesn't go away, and maybe he ruins Javonte's season. Bro, is there a chance that happens? Sure. There's a chance that this coaching staff screws it up and doesn't see how good he is. But when you come in here and try and act like Melvin Gordon holds a candle to Javonte, who's ranked number 1 in the NFL in efficiency by PFF, number 1 in breaking tackles, and number 2 in broken tackle efficiency. Bro, what are you talking about? What are we talking about here? Really? A 3.9 yard per carry running back before Denver.
Yards versus the running back that has like a 900 yards career. You're talking about all these. I mean, he has a 4.4 average. Javonte does.
Bro, Javonte played halftime as a rookie last year.
That's what he put on paper.
Average 0.1 yards less than Melvin Gordon. You literally just touted 4.5, and now you're trying to belittle 4.4. Like, what are you talking? What's your argument?
My argument is
what that Melvin Gordon averaged 0.1 more.
Better than Melvin Gordon. That is just crazy. Melvin Gordon is really good NFL running back, and to just say that he's just garbage, like you're saying constantly over and over. I
don't say he's garbage. He's older. He's no longer Melvin Gordon, bro. You what?
I mean, you're out of whack.
I am out of whack. You got no facts. You got no facts whatsoever.
I love you, man, but you're out of whack on this.
No, I'm not.
I mean, you compared Javonte to JT. That's insane.
Is it?
Javonte has 149 yards.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. What was it crazy to compare JT to the running back before him? Was it crazy to call Patrick Mahomes the next Peyton Manning? Like, what do you think I do? You think I come on here to just tell you stuff after it happens? Like, what am I supposed to do? Wait until Javonte becomes JT, then come to you and tell you he's JT? Like, this is what I do, bro, is I try and predict what's going to happen. Am I always right?
I'm not saying JT is terrible.
But how are you going to come in here and hold on a second. How are you going to come in here on my show and tell me my Javonte Williams predictions are whack when he's the number 1 running back in the NFL according to PFF in efficiency? He's the number 1 running back in the NFL, beating everybody out in broken tackles, and he played halftime. I have facts, bro. I have the best facts you can come up with. I'm not saying on Wednesdays when he didn't have a leg rash, he ran for more yards than anybody in the NFL. I'm telling you, point blank, some of the best statistics and categories you can come up with. Efficiency number 1. Broken tackles number 1. Like, what are you talking about? How am I whack predicting JT out of this kid? How is that whack? Everything's pointing toward it, bro. Everything's pointing toward it. ESPN ranked him a top 10 running back, and he's only played halftime. He averaged 4.4 yards per carry. Your boy Melvin averaged 4.5, and you're ripping on 4.4.
You're the one that's ripping on Melvin more than I'm ripping on Javonte. I'm not calling Javonte a bum. You're calling Melvin a bum.
I'm not. When have I called Melvin a bum? You're not coming in with anything factual, bro.
3.9. You're constantly. I mean, you didn't
he is a pedestrian 3.9 yard per carry running back.
This is a good NFL running back.
You must be related to Melvin Gordon or something. You're taking this really personal, bro. I'm a prediction show, and I'm telling you right now that Javonte's the next JT. You can take it however you want, but I have facts to back it up, bro. He came to play. He's a good running back. He averaged 0.1 more yard. What are you talking about? You're dragging him to the mud. I'm at least coming with some thunder, bro. Like, I have facts.
You're making up stats. 3.9 is not a real stat.
I'm making up stats? How am I making up stats?
3.9 is not his career rushing stat. He is not a 3.9.
Bro, if you listen to what I'm saying, if you listen to what I'm saying,
right now Javonte's a 4.4.
If you listen to what I'm saying, you obviously aren't listening to what I'm saying.
Melvin has been a good running back. He's gone in there and played well.
He's a pedestrian 3.9 yard per carry running back before. You're not listening. Here you are again. You're not listening.
That's just incorrect. That's totally incorrect.
Are you ready to listen?
This is Melvin Gordon.
Are you ready? This is
Melvin
Melvin
Gordon,
Gordon.
right?
This is Melvin Gordon. This is Melvin Gordon.
I mean, it's funny to me, but
I assume it is
I'm not
funny to
related
you.
him.
I assume it is very funny to you.
I know all this Melvin Gordon fun is just crazy.
It is it? Like, what
He's
point
some
do
terrible
at what
running
point do running backs drop off to you at 35? Like, in your mind, what do you see for Melvin Gordon? 15 more years? Like, what is it? You really believe this
He
kid
can obviously
Javonte
go
with
out there
everything?
and get 200 carries and average 4.5. He did it the last 2 years. That shouldn't be a problem.
Okay. And again, you're not listening to what I'm saying. You're not listening to what I'm saying. Will you let me finish my statement? 3.9 yard pedestrian per carry running back before he hit Denver, and he comes into Denver, very productive running system. That's why he is a pedestrian 3.9. What I always say is 3.9 to 4.0 yard per carry running back. That's what he averaged. You take away his time at Denver. That's how I say it, bro. You're literally telling me what I'm saying. I'm telling you how I say it. Before Denver, he was a 3.9 pedestrian. Maybe it was 4.0, bro. 3.9 to 4.0 yard per carry running back. Walking into Denver. Denver's a really good system. And could he be here's the difference between you and I. I could at least acknowledge there's a percentage chance that Melvin Gordon doesn't go away and this coaching staff does what the previous coaching staff did. There's a shot, bro. But right. You don't even think, this is the part that I don't understand. You don't even think the things that I'm spitting out, the facts that it's practically science, bro. The stuff I'm spitting at you is high level statistical data, bro. Number one in efficiency according to PFF. Or elusiveness.
I don't know what that
Sorry,
is.
elusiveness.
I don't know what that is. So maybe that's above me, but I don't know what that efficiency is. No idea. PFF?
Elusiveness.
Efficiency in what? Breaking tackles?
Look. Number one elusive rating according to PFF. Number one in the NFL, bro. I'm showing it to the screen right now. Most elusive running back in the entire National Football.
And he averaged 4.4, and he had one long run of 49 yards. That's what that stat says.
Oh, really?
I don't know what PFF is, but
I got you.
The most elusive running back.
You don't know what? Okay, you don't know what PFF is. You don't know what PFF is, and you're coming in here trying to school me about stats, bro. Come on, bro. Come on.
What is PFF? What does it mean?
Pro Football Focus. Pro Football Focus. They handle all the stats for some of the most high level, looked at and respected stats and things people bring to the table when they want to make an argument.
Number one in what stat?
I just told you he's number one in the NFL according to an elusive rating.
Elusive rating.
You don't like elusive running backs now? Is that a problem? Is elusive not telling? Is that not telling?
What does elusive mean?
What's elusive, bro? Okay.
I can dodge left or right, because he does that a lot. He doesn't straight line much.
Okay. Hey,
he's a little slow. He goes left to right, and he breaks tackles.
Hey, enjoy the Javonte season, bro. Appreciate you.
All
right. What a call. Here, Andy, just to prove something, Andy, because Andy thinks he's right. I mean, I think he thinks everybody in here is probably going, dude, this guy's brought it. Somebody give me a thumbs up if you think Andy even had a small piece of an argument that was like anywhere in his favor. I would love to see if anybody thought Andy had any kind of substance whatsoever. First thing he comes in and says is that oh man, I don't mind. Anybody can come in and yell at me. I don't care. Like some people think, oh, Smitty wouldn't dare argue with this person. I'll argue with anybody, bro. I'm not, so, I'm humble enough to be like, okay, maybe I'm wrong on this. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Like, I have no problem. Like, I just don't understand when someone comes in and says, how are you treating Melvin Gordon this way? And you're crazy you're whack out of this Javonte Williams stuff. Like, what is he talking about? What's up, Ron Navy?
Hey, you missed me?
What's up, Ron? Yeah, Ron, you're a real calm individual to talk to. Ron's going to put us right to sleep after this guy woke us up.
Oh, Lord. Melvin Gordon used to be, rather really good, even though they always said he wasn't. But he was a TD magnet when he was in his prime with the Chargers. But he's a complimentary back anymore. I mean, that's all he is.
Yeah,
he's not like a Derrick Henry.
Bro, literally, what's PFF? Like, that was hilarious. What's PFF? What's an elusive rating? What's that even mean? Like, you can't come to somebody with an argument when you don't know what elusive rating means or elusiveness for a running back, and if you don't know what PFF is, and then bring a stat.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on here? What?
Maybe they should call it. Maybe instead of the elusive running stat, they should call it the Barry Sanders stat.
Yeah, well,
maybe people would understand.
Now we got a name for the person that comes in with the awkward argument. It's the awkward Andy. The awkward Andy. What's elusive? Worried William, awkward Andy. Oh boy. I'll admit I had fun. I had fun with that one.
Yeah, I can tell you.
I'm sure he thought he mopped the floor with me too.
He had no ground to stand on, and you haven't been hard on Gordon at all. You've been telling people he's a good handcuff later on down in the draft. Way down in the draft, he's a good handcuff. So you haven't been hard on him. I haven't heard you be hard on him at all.
He came to play. He's a good running back. There's a lot of good stuff that got tossed my way, but the best one was 4.5 versus 4.4. Like, Javonte should be ashamed of himself as a rookie.
I messaged you on IG. I don't think you've had time today because I saw you had a flat tire too. That had to suck out in that heat. But
I had a flat tire with I had a flat tire with a baby and a 10-year-old in the car and my lunch.
Oh, that's
fuck,
dude. I saw that clip. I was like, oh no, he's not having a good day. But I heard that, just so everybody knows, because the puppy drafts are over, this last one. But from what I heard is that Underdog plans on releasing their final puppy, their third puppy, August 1st. And it's going to be a $1 million one, $5. Winner getting $250K. So there's still going to be another puppy, from what I understand, coming out August 1st. So anybody that, doesn't like to do the BB3 $25, they're still going to have a chance to get in a $5 puppies. And I'm sure they're going to make that more entrants. They're going to have to make it more entrants than the last one.
Yeah, hopefully they open up. Hey, is this Andrew Grace? Is that the Andy? If so, I'm a little disappointed because I mean, not that I don't. I'm not gonna. I don't care if Andy calls in again or his follows. Like, I'm not mad at Andy. Like, I don't hold grudges or whatever. But if this is him, I almost feel a little disappointed because, like, I thought this was my dog. I don't know if this was the Andy that called in or if this is a different Andy. Andrew Grace. I thought that was my dog. It's a little disappointing.
Yeah. I think sometimes people just want to argue with you a little bit,
It's fine. I get it.
I like arguing
I'm abrasive.
about.
You there, Ron?
What's that?
You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
I think that was him. Andy!
No, I'm here.
I do appreciate Andy. Andy's been in the chat for a while, and I feel like maybe I'm mistaken, but I'm pretty sure Andy used to be. Not that he's not now. Like, he can disagree with me. You guys can disagree with me all you want. You just brought a little fire, Andy, so I went at you. I went back at you. I'm not gonna let somebody snap at me. I'll snap back. Anyway, that's funny. If that's Andy, I think that's Andy. Yeah, it's me. Okay, Andy Grace. I feel like you've super chatted before. You've been a pretty avid. And you said you did appreciate me. You just didn't like that stance. But like, I'm surprised you called in with that thunder, bro. I'll be honest. I did. Andrew Grace. Isn't Andrew Grace on the tombstones? Let's see.
Graveyard Crew.
I feel like, where am I seeing Andy? I don't see him on here. I wouldn't take him off. I'm just wondering. I feel like I've seen he's super chatted before too. So I feel bad when I yell at a super chatter. I don't know. Andy, I'm sorry.
He probably just wanted to have a good argument with you. That's all.
I still appreciate you, Andy, in some ways. You know, I like it. Look, Andy, you can call up and yell at me whenever you want. I'm going to yell at you back, though, you know. I give him credit for calling. I think he thought that was going to go a little different, but I give him credit for calling. Anyway, so, Ron, you got anything else?
Nope, that's it. I just wanted to mention the best ball so everybody's aware and they can make their plans accordingly. You know, save up their $5 and get into it because it's a good deal, and it's going to be the last one. So,
yeah,
that's it, brother. Just going to listen to the show and wait for your next caller.
Yep. All right, pal. Appreciate you. Later.
All right,
bye. We got to get to the voicemails. We're a little behind. What is it? 5:30. Oh God, what are we? An hour and a half in? We're an hour and a half in already. That's crazy. You know this show is only scheduled for an hour. Andrew, sorry for yelling. Andrew, I think I'm the one yelling. I don't think anybody heard you yelling over me. So my apologies. You're live on the Fantasy Football Show. Who am I talking to?
Yeah, this is.
Identify yourself. This is, and then he hung up. He's trying to troll, but he couldn't commit to it. Hey, the Bruce, what's up?
Hey, Smitty, I got a question for you. I've been doing a couple mocks, and Hollywood Brown and Hopkins have been going in the same round. And if I want both of them, which one would you take a round earlier?
Hollywood Brown by a mile, bro. By a long, long, long mile.
All right, yeah, that's what I had. I started doing mocks, and I'm watching, and I'm looking, and I'm like, because I took Hollywood, and then the very next pick was Hopkins.
Yeah,
I'm looking, I'm like,
I love taking Hopkins and backing him up with like Ayuk. Kenny with the super chat, appreciate you, Kenny. I like backing him up with like an Ayuk, backing him up with someone like that. But you could take Hollywood Brown, bro, and then take Hopkins after, and you're gonna be set at that wide receiver position. But you can't take a guy like Hopkins over Hollywood when Hollywood's playing six more games and could be the number one wide receiver, bro. You know, he could when Hopkins comes back, Hollywood could still be the guy. You know, he could still be the number one. Like he's got as much rapport with Kyler, or at least will reestablish it by the time Hopkins comes back. Not to mention Hopkins still has to prove he can stay healthy. You know, there's a lot of people that think maybe he dropped off a little. I kind of feel like I need to see that before I really jump the gun and start calling Hopkins wash. But Hopkins being out 6 games, I mean, Hollywood is a home run over that, bro. Hollywood, I would say Hollywood's a 5th round pick. I'd say Hopkins is more like a 7th round pick. You know? Like
yeah,
top of the 7th.
I was getting Hollywood in the 7th round.
Yeah, Hollywood should be going around 6 at the minimum. So if Hollywood's there in 7, you're taking candy from a baby. But don't be taking Hopkins over Hollywood, bro.
My other one is, I know we don't like this guy, Josh Jacobs, but is Zamir White a good handcuff to Jacobs?
Yeah.
In like the later rounds?
For sure. For sure, bro.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know.
All right, man.
I'm like, should I cuff him in the later rounds, or should I just pick him up in free agency? Yeah.
Depends on how deep your bench is. I mean, if he's the best guy available and you're like trying to scoop up, you know, trash, like grab him. But like if you can't pick up a really legit potential player, you don't want to. You know, you just got. It depends on your depth. But he's on waivers in most leagues that I'm in. You know, like they'd have a small bench or medium-sized bench. Deep benches, dynasty leagues, of course he's gone. But like in a medium-sized redraft, he's available on waivers most of the time.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Bruce, call back if you got another question. I'm going to hit another phone call and then call back if you got anything else. I'll be here.
Okay, thank you.
Later, pal. Swift. Smitty, you like Swift, Javonte, and Breece Hall, or Diggs and Javonte and Breece Hall? Swift, Javonte, Breece Hall, Diggs. I like Swift. I like Swift and Javonte as my top 2 picks, bro. Smitty, do you draft Allen in round 2? I answered that already. Kenny, super chat. Andy is in voicemail group 2. my co-commish. Okay. I don't dislike Andy. I don't want anybody to get mad at Andy. Like, Andy came in with some thunder. I clapped back. And that was that. Like, Andy's fine. Andy, I like Andy.
Hello?
Yeah, what's up? You're live on the Fantasy Football Show.
What's up, man?
Identify yourself.
Who is this?
Hey, man, that Andy guy was a clown, man.
Well, let's not. We don't need to name call him. I mean, I get what you're saying. Like, his stance was definitely.
Man, but man, nobody should be calling and asking what's elusive. What's an elusive running back? Come on, man. We all watch fantasy football. This is the reason why we're here.
Yeah. You know, it's fine.
But,
it's fine.
I'm a Javonte rider, man. I'm not a Melvin Gordon believer this year. I truly believe in Javonte this year. I have him in my dynasty league match stuff with. I got Chase too, so I'm a Javonte believer.
I have respect for
that's
Andy.
My opinion on Javonte.
I have respect for Andy. Number one, he earned my respect before the call. Like, so when I saw it was him, like I said, I was a little shocked because I felt like this guy was ultra supportive, like in the chat a lot. From my memory. My memory could be off. It could be another. I'm pretty sure it was him. I'm pretty sure. I think he's in one of the voicemail groups. So, like, I was a little shocked when I saw it was him. And it's okay. Just because you're a usual or a super chatter doesn't mean you can't disagree. But he definitely called in with some, like, agitated, like, let's fight. So, like, Andy, if you're watching still, I think you are. Like, you poked the bear, bro. You didn't call up and say, hey, let me just, you go, you're whack. your take on Javonte's whack. And so, you poke the bear, you're going to get blasted. But Andy, you did come in with some cojones, and I appreciate that about you. And I don't dislike you. You can call in anytime. I'm not one of those people that, like, literally says, like, oh, you disagree with me, you're out of here. Like, it's not. You got to be respectful. Andy wasn't disrespectful to me. He was disrespectful to the take, and I'm fine with that. You can be disrespectful all you want to the take. If he called in and started saying, like, character shots, that'd be different. But Andy came aggressive. I appreciated it. He got blasted. Let's be real. He got blasted. His argument didn't hold water, but I absolutely appreciate Andy. And I think Andy is going to be a Javonte fan by the end of the year. What else you got?
Yes, too. But I got my own question right now. I think, really, how do you feel about CD this year? With him truly being the number one this year, you got Gallup that's going to be on the fence for the first maybe 6 weeks. You got Tolbert as a rookie. How do you see the target share really? How many shares? What do you see with CD this year?
I think CD could be the number one wide receiver in the NFL. I don't think the odds are great of it. I wouldn't bet on it. I wouldn't draft him. But, like, if there's a wide receiver that's not ranking anywhere near the number one overall wide receiver, Debo comes to mind. Lamb comes to mind. Like, these are guys that could become, top 1 to 5 guys. So, like, Lamb could either. Now, is there a little more risk that Lamb does Lamb have some kind of risk of, like, he could not bust but disappoint again like he did last year, where he had a pretty okay year, but because Lamb wasn't a top 5 guy like I kept touting, a lot of people were disappointed in Lamb. And Lamb was like a late second rounder right out of the gate when we were doing early mock drafts, and then he climbed back up very quickly. And a lot of people weren't comfortable with him going at the top of 2, and then it slowly became accepted. But Lamb's for sure got the upside. He's working hard. His attitude looks really good. His work ethic is really good. His elusiveness is pretty darn good, according to things that I'm reading. and if he gets out there and shines and gets put in a slot early and often, because that's where he's most effective, he could burn the entire league. He could be a number 1 wide receiver, maybe number 2 behind Kupp in the slot. He could be the number 1 or number 2 wide receiver in the NFL in the slot. If they move him all over the field, he'll be hard to double team. He's kind of hard to double team anyway because Dalton Schultz is going to absorb a lot of the timeshare or target share. You got Pollard probably going to be used at the same time as Zeke oftentimes. It's going to be a great year for the Cowboys. Like, I'm not saying the Cowboys are going deep into the playoffs. I'm not talking about playoffs. I'm talking about NFL games, regular season, fantasy football. Cowboys are going to be rock solid.
Yeah. All right, man. Thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Yeah. Who is this? I'm gonna plug it in so I can address you next time. Who is this?
Oh, this is Todd.
Thomas?
Todd. TODB.
Oh, Todd. Okay.
Yeah, man. I watch you all the time, man. I appreciate all you do out here for fantasy, man.
I appreciate you, man. Later. Call in anytime. All right. Let me see if I can get rid of these here. Andy, your league called. They said they're okay. Avatar's poking fun. Avatar, appreciate the super chat from MJ Ski. Let's see what's elusive. MJ says, "What's up? You're live on the Fantasy Football Show. Who am I talking to?"
Hey, Breece, go back. You got another question, man.
Yo.
Choose a
Identify
trio,
yourself.
I'm looking at 3 people to start the year. Choose a trio. Dak Prescott, Joe Mixon, Cooper Kupp, or Joe Burrow, Najee Harris, or Devontae Adams.
Say it again.
Prescott, Joe Mixon, Cooper Kupp, or Joe Burrow, Najee Harris, or Devontae Adams.
The second. The Joe Burrow, Adams, Najee.
All right, thanks. That's all I needed, Smitty. Dude, appreciate your show. Thanks,
Yeah,
man.
pretty easy one for me. Were you leaning one way or the other?
Yeah, I wanted to go Dak Prescott because I don't think they're going to run the ball that much this year, And then Mixon, Cooper Kupp's going number 1 overall, but yeah, I like that one.
I mean, Cooper Kupp and Adams are. I mean, I like Kupp more, obviously, but they're close enough to say like you're kind of crushing the other side. Like I'm not saying Mixon's not borderline first round material. He is, but I feel like Najee's that 2 to 5 overall potential running back. Burrow I like over Dak. So give me Adams, maybe a little downgrade from Cooper Kupp, but the second one feels like it's got more upside, bro. Like it can really explode. And if it doesn't, I feel like it's still going to be the same. Like Adams. What if Adams does more yardage and reception wise to make up for lack of touchdowns? What if he has like 12 touchdowns still? Like Adams could still be. Yeah. He's arguably still the best wide receiver in the NFL from like a physical perspective. And Carr's not horrible, so I'm down on Adams a little bit, but not to the point where I'm feeling like that trade is that big of a deal to me.
But the Adams thing, the relationship he had with Rodgers and stuff, you know what I mean?
Well, he played with Carr in college, though.
Dissipates.
He played in college with Carr, so he's got good, probably has good rapport. It's been a while, but I mean, that's his old college quarterback, So there's good rapport there. The offense is pretty potent. I think he'll be able to get open early and often. It's just a matter of, Aaron Rodgers is a downgrade, but maybe even with the downgrade, maybe he'll laser lock on Adams because, look at Big Ben. Big Ben was a downgrade from Aaron Rodgers, but like you wanted Antonio Brown in Pittsburgh, over anywhere else because of the way he locked on him. So we don't really know what Carr and Adams have in terms of that rapport and how strong it'll be. Maybe he'll just feed him, bro. Maybe it's just force feeding this guy. Maybe Adams has like 12 receptions in week 1 and we're like, holy shit, you know what I mean? Like who knows? But it's worth the gamble given the other 2 players get upgraded. So I take it. What was your name? I'm going to plug in here.
Where we are now.
Oh, where we are now. Okay, got you in here. Appreciate you, man.
Hey, Smitty. Can you hear me?
Oh, I must have hung up on the other guy. Thank you, where we are now, for the call. Appreciate you. Yeah, who's this?
Hey, this is Cameron.
Cameron, what's up, man? Birthday boy, right?
Yes, sir.
You're
Hey, just wanted to say
26, right?
Long-time listener, long-time supporter. And I just want to give a quick shout-out to the People's Mock Draft Channel Discord. Very quality. You guys should join.
Stupid. That's how you get blocked from the channel. It's like now guess what? You can never call in again. And that sucks for you. What's up? You're live at the Fantasy Football Show.
Hey, I just wanted to talk to you about how you feel about handcuffs in best ball.
Handcuffs in best ball? It depends on the scenario, bro.
Yeah.
It depends on the scenario. You know?
Right. Well, would you know if you say you drafted somebody early, do you want to get his handcuff back, or would you rather get a handcuff on a different back?
It just depends, bro. You like give me a scenario because it all just depends on what we're talking about. Like, what player is it? What would I rather have my backup than grab Tony Pollard and have Tony Pollard as a standalone?
Yeah, on your team, say you drafted Cam Akers. Would you rather, back him up with Henderson? Or would you rather take, say, Alexander Madison backing up Cook?
I'd rather have Madison over backing up Cam Akers, to be honest. But Darrell Henderson could have a good year, but it has nothing to do with the back. Like, you need to grab your backups, but you just got to grab the best player available, bro. So, like, if Madison...
That's usually what I do. But.
Yeah, if Madison's there and, like, you might have to pass on, like, grabbing Ty Davis-Price or Trey Sermon and you feel like that you have Mitchell, let's say, you just got to you just got to hope that the backup's still going to be there for you. But I don't force drafting a backup just because they're, the cuff to my player. Because who knows if, like, Kyron Williams, I like him a lot, but he broke his foot. Darrell Henderson... he could struggle with injury. We don't really know what that is. If one of those backs gets in there, we don't know if they'll hold on to the job the whole time. Madison can win you a league. Tyler Algier, he's a guy going in that range too. Give me him all day long over cuffing a situation that I don't feel really comfortable with anyway. Just because of backup.
Right, yeah.
Like McCaffrey, I don't even need to back up
I'm
McCaffrey.
liking Algier, yeah.
I'm not backing up McCaffrey. Like, you own McCaffrey, I'd draft Tyler Algier, I'd draft these other guys that could get into the lineup, bro, and explode. I'm not worried about cuffing Christian McCaffrey. And you think that would be the best, cuff in the world, right? Not really. I mean, Deonta Foreman's okay.
Like Foreman, yeah.
Yeah, he's okay, but who knows if he even is the backup, And he struggled with the Achilles. Like, who knows if he stays healthy? Give me Madison all day long.
Right. Gotcha. Yeah, that's what I was kind of wondering how you felt about that. So.
Yeah, buddy. Anything else?
No, that's all. I was just wondering how you felt about the handcuff situation.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
Hey, thanks a lot, man. Peace
Later.
out.
You're live on the Fantasy Football Show. What can I do for you?
Hey, what's going on, Smitty?
What's up?
Hey, I got a question. So what do you think of Stephon Diggs? You think Gabriel Davis is going to eat up on some targets this year? He could.
But I mean, Diggs is very efficient, very elusive. I think if let's say Diggs goes down, I think Gabe Davis takes a big step forward. Does Gabe Davis hurt Diggs? Probably not, bro. Like, I don't think he's gonna hurt him. I mean, Josh Allen throws the ball a lot. Like, we don't need to worry about Diggs. Diggs will be fine. But do I believe that? You what?
Do you still think that he's worth a first rounder, like late first round?
Yeah, I mean, I like him more in the top of the second. But I would take him at like 11 or 12, and then take like Javonte next. Sure. Yeah, I mean, Diggs is definitely a top 5 potential wide receiver, but he's in that 5 to 7. He's not really in the 4. Like, for me, it's Kupp, Chase, and Jefferson, then tier break. There's just no argument in redraft. There's just no one that you can argue that belongs in the top 3 in redraft. In Dynasty, I think you could only argue like Lamb maybe goes up into the 3 spot ahead of Cooper Kupp. Yeah. But, like, Diggs could be 5. He could be 5 or 6, but I think you want to draft him right at that 2-3 turn. Or, I'm sorry, that 1-2 turn at 12 and 13. I don't know. I don't mind it at all. I definitely feel like Gabe Davis could take a little bit from him, but I don't think it's going to be enough that it's going to be a big deal. It's more of a matter of, does Gabe Davis just take a separate step forward that's unrelated to Diggs because Josh Allen throws enough? There's more than enough footballs to go around. I mean, Gabe Davis will never replace Diggs, right? The most he could become is a little bit like almost like not even a full version of T. Higgins. You know what I mean? Like, T. Higgins is not taken away from Jamar Chase. Joe Burrow throws enough that Jamar Chase is going to exist whether T. Higgins wants him to or not. T. Higgins can still be amazing. It's just a matter of how amazing he can be. Can he still be a wide receiver 1 in fantasy? The potential's there. That's why everybody drafts him so high. So in the case of Josh Allen, Josh Allen, they both are gunslingers. They're both top 3 or 4 in the NFL. Every single year they're going to be top 1 to 4, top 1 to 3. And so these quarterbacks are going to throw so much that Gabe Davis has an independent ceiling that has nothing to do with Diggs that could be T. Higgins capable, you know. And he's playing at a much heavier weight. He's like 10 or 15 pounds up. And I kind of like that. I don't love when running backs add weight. It's not always great when any player adds weight when they're used to playing at a certain weight. Think of it like you're like, I don't know if you've ever added some LBs, bro, but when you go running, everything's harder. Your knees, every little problem could be amplified a little bit. But like when you're young, you're Gabe Davis, you're still kind of coming into your own. I don't know. I think he could put on some LBs and it not be too much drag on his body, you know, to where I think adding some weight could be good for him because he wasn't like an overly big guy anyway. So adding some LBs gives him an opportunity to maybe absorb hits a little better. It's not like the reason it's bad for a running back more than it is a wide receiver is, think about it. Wide receivers running a route. Sometimes he falls down, gets hit by a D-back, sometimes runs out of bounds. A lot of times doesn't even get touched, right? So he's got a lot less wear and tear on his body. And when you weigh more, the bigger you are, the harder they fall. You're not, as a wide receiver, you're not really, you know, breaking your body down the same way when you hit the ground over and over. When you're a running back and you put on 10 or 15 LBs, bro, and you go running up the A gap and you get hit by 300-pound linemen and they just jam you into the ground and you have like 1,200 to 1,500 pounds of pressure smashing you into the turf and you weigh 15 pounds more. It's like putting a backpack on and just jumping up into the air and just landing on the ground over and over and over and over. Like running backs just take abuse. So wide receivers, I'm okay with it. Gabe Davis is young. He can endure a little bit of size and then play at it and get used to it. If this was like a 27-year-old wide receiver, I'd be worried about him putting on 15 LBs.
Yeah.
You know?
Older guys definitely don't want to put on that weight.
Yeah. What's up, Parker? Thanks for the super chat.
All right, well,
yeah, who is this? What's your name? I'm going to put your name in here.
My name is the better Andy, because I know the last Andy was a piece of douche.
With, all right, be nice.
Javonte whack.
Okay, better. I'm going to put a better Andy in here, but I appreciate Andy's call. I don't want Andy to go run away from here. But appreciate you better, Andy. Appreciate you.
That's all. Hey, Breece Hall to the moon, baby.
Moonshot. I owed somebody a Burrow moonshot too. Breece Hall to the moon.
To the moon.
And Joe Burrow to the moon. Let me hit the Joe Burrow one to the moon. Joe Burrow to the moon. And whoever.
To the moon.
I already forgot. All right, thanks, man. Appreciate you.
All right, man. You have a good one, man.
All right, who do we got next? We haven't gotten any voicemails, have we? Let's close the phone line down, and we'll get to the voice messages because we're gonna have calls keep coming in if we leave it open. Phone lines are closed. Let's get to the voice messages, and I think maybe these are old. We'll have to see. Hold on.
Hey, Smitty. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, they're both amazing elite wide receivers. Tyreek Hill probably a little bit better at this point.
Is this yesterday's question?
The question I have is, which Miami wide receiver would you rather draft this year and redraft with the value that they're going at right now? Tyreek Hill is kind of going in the second round right now, and Jalen Waddle's going in the fourth. Which Miami receiver would you draft this year?
It's voicemail time. Drop a voicemail at the Fantasy Football Show on the gram. Tell your grandma.
Yeah, good question. Andy said, what's Andy saying? Let's see this elusive rating list by PFF. I'm definitely not paying for it. Oh, Andy, let it go, bro. Please. I'm trying to go to bat for you, bro. I'm trying to go to bat for you. Most elusive running backs. Number 1, Javonte, bro. You know who's number 2? Kareem Hunt. That's a pretty good nugget to have because Kareem Hunt's one of my favorite, like, running back 3-4s. You know what I'm saying? Running back 3-4s. I absolutely love Kareem Hunt as a sneaky, really good 3-4 running back that could come in and win you a league if Dick Chubb goes down. Yeah, so definitely look into that. Andy, let it go, Andy. You're literally in a room where you're the only person that feels the way you feel, and you're continuing to push back. I'm trying my best, Andy. I've even thrown you some flowers. I've defended you, but like you're continuing to go at it, Andy, in a room full of 181 Javonte Williams supporters. You read the room, Andy. Read the room. I'm trying my best here, Andy. Okay. I'm trying my best, Andy. Confirm Julio was at 84. Oh, this was earlier. Let me get rid of these. Tyreek Hill was the question. Hill or Waddle? Obviously, considering ADP. I'm going to say that I don't mind Tyreek Hill at 24. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind Tyreek Hill at 20, 21, 24. I don't love him at 14 or 12, like at his old value. I think the risk is very, very, very much baked in to, 18, 22, 24 overall. So I'm not hating that value at all. I worry about injury with him. When's he going to drop off? When are the soft tissue injuries going to hit him? When are the hamstring injuries going to hit him? Speed guys like Deshaun Jackson, like they always have a shorter career than other guys, you know what I mean? Because they're firing off those hamstrings at 100,000 miles per hour, and eventually you'll hear people say paper thin hamstrings. I worry about that, but I don't know if I worry about it like this year. But like in Dynasty, I'm not super excited. To the moon you are, Bruce, by the way. I remember Bruce said that yesterday. Okay. But Waddle around 4 to 5 round value is probably better than Tyreek Hill at 18 overall, to answer the question. I'm sorry that was a long-winded question. I'm trying to navigate the chat right now too. And I'm trying to get everybody to calm down on Andy, but Andy needs to also calm down on himself. Okay, Kenny P.
Hey, Smitty, I was offered ETN and a 23 and 24 first-round pick for my Jonathan Taylor.
ETN in 2023 and 2024 first-round pick. I guess it depends on where the pick is. If it's like the end of the draft, it's not enough. Like, I love ETN a lot, but like some kind of like 9 overall pick isn't going to do anything for me. So if you have a top 1 to 3 pick or a shot at a top 1 pick, if you could get the 1.1, it's something to think about. But ultimately, I think I just keep JT, bro.
Hey, Smitty, I just completed a Dynasty Startup Superflex League, and I started off with Josh Allen, Kyle Pitts, who I was thrilled with, and then it came around to my third pick, and it was Breece Hall and DeAndre Swift. I went with Breece Hall, but I was really close to taking Swift. Which running back of those two would you rather have in Dynasty moving forward?
Breece Hall and Swift. I probably have Breece Hall. I like Swift a lot. I think they're about even. I could argue either one. Swift in Dynasty. If we're talking redraft, it's Swift all day, and Breece Hall's a 4th rounder. But we're talking Dynasty here. So Dynasty, give me Hall, maybe by a hair over Swift. But I like Swift like right there, the next running back essentially. So I don't even want to say it's like a lot, But I do like Breece Hall a tad more in Dynasty.
Hey, Smitty, getting Breece is a real thing. He's going to end up being a first-round pick next year. ETN's probably going to end up being a first-round pick. Which running backs do you believe amongst the ones you say are going to be first-rounders next year?
I think Kenneth Walker will be a 2nd-rounder probably next year if they use him right and use him properly. I think Breece Hall will be a top 5 or 6 overall pick. I think he's Najee. I feel like Javonte is a 2nd-rounder right now. He'll be a 1st-rounder. He's JT. I think Breece Hall is Najee. I think these are where the exact level these guys can become. I don't say that lightly. I know Andy thought it was funny, but I don't say that lightly. I believe Javonte is JT. And he thought that was ridiculous, apparently, because of Melvin Gordon. Like, even if you love Melvin Gordon, you should be able to appreciate what Javonte could become. And if you don't, that's fine. But the argument is crazy. And Robinson, Vamp, I love Robinson. Robinson's going to be... I wouldn't be shocked if Robinson was a top 12 pick in 2023 as a rookie running back. If he doesn't get hurt or something, let's hope he doesn't get hurt. Robinson could come in and literally... Yeah, we got 176 of you in here. Please punch the thumb up button. We literally could see Robinson come on as a top, maybe even 10 pick. You know, keep in mind that Najee Harris, we got made fun of for drafting Najee Harris in the top 10 to 14 overall last year. We took a rookie running back in round 1 as a community whenever we needed to, whenever we felt like he was the best player on the board. You know, and I feel like Robinson is going to be the same way. Andy, stop it, bro. I can only defend you so much. You know, I'm trying my best. Elusive list is horrid. I don't make the elusive list. It wasn't like someone generated the elusive list. Just because there's bad names on the list that you don't like, he's still the number 1 running back in elusive rating, bro, from PFF. If you don't like PFF or think PFF does a good job with their stats, then I don't know what to tell you. Like, Like, that's one list. I brought one list up. You're hanging on to one list. Why don't you look at the broken tackle? Why don't you open up YouTube and watch some footage of Javonte Williams plowing through people? You seem to think he only had one long run. Like, Andy, let it go, bro. Let it go. Just let it go. You're in a Javonte room. Read the room, bro. Read the room and let it go. I'm trying to help you, Andy. Najee won me 3 last year. Attaboy, James. Attaboy, James. I love the Breece Hall hate, though. I gotta admit, guys, I love it. It's gonna set us up so nicely. The Bruce, I appreciate you.
Hey, Smitty. Miss Robeson's.
Oh.
Hey, Smitty. Miss Robeson's question is: should we do what we did in the last Underdog draft? Promo code Smitty, where we drafted Tom Brady in the last round, and this year she wants to draft Gronk in the same way. Should we do it or no?
Gronk is retired. The Bruce. He's not coming back. He said he's done. So don't draft Gronk, bro. That's number 1. Number 2, draft Brady in the last round. Did he say? How are you gonna get Brady in the last round?
Hey, Smitty. Hey, Smitty. Tom Brady. Promo code Smitty, where we drafted Tom Brady in the last round, and this year she wants to draft Gronk in the same way. Should we do it or no?
I think you're just saying last year you drafted Tom Brady. Should you draft Gronk? I get it. I know what he's saying. I'm sorry. I totally misunderstood what Bruce was trying to say here. Because of I retire, I'm going to retire, whatever. I think that's what he's saying. So are you asking in the last round, could he come back? No, who cares about Gronk, bro? Even if he comes back, like, what are you going to win? A chicken dinner? You know what I mean? Like, what are you going to get? A prize? A pat in the back? Gronk is nothing. Gronk comes back. He's not a guy. You draft Freiermuth. Draft Freiermuth in round 10 or 11. Draft Knox in round 10, 11, 12. Like, sometimes Freiermuth goes ahead of Knox. Go get one of those. I appreciate you, though. The Bruce. I love the Bruce.
Hey, Smitty, where do you rank Trevor Lawrence this year?
He just bounces back, too. The Bruce is like, he's a machine. Absolute machine.
His tight end and his receiver going up a little.
I'm so enamored by the Bruce. I got to rewind it.
Where do you rank Trevor Lawrence this year? I see his tight end and his receiver going up a little bit, but how come, if that's happening, he's not going up? And is he any value this year?
Yeah, I like Trevor Lawrence as a backup, but like you've got a grip of quarterbacks. We brought this up the other day. We put the quarterback ranking up, the consensus. This is not my quarterback ranking. This is the consensus quarterback ranking across the industry. This is not me. This is not my ranking. Is this it right here? That's running backs. Where was the quarterback ranking? Maybe it's right here. Yeah. This is in the industry, not my ranking. Trevor Lawrence is down there at 18. I'm not saying I agree with that ranking. I love him above Tua. But like right under Kirk Cousins. Don't talk about Kirk Cousins again, anybody. I don't want to go through that argument again. But put him under Kirk if you want. But right above Kirk is where I'd put Trevor Lawrence, or right under Kirk. Ron Navy's going to lose it. But like right there at 15, that's where Trevor Lawrence belongs. That's your backup quarterback. That's not even the number one backup in the league. That's somebody getting the third or fourth backup off the board. Boom. You know, that's Matt Ryan, Trevor Lawrence, Fields, Tua, Cousins. Those are all very, very close. And so I feel like, you know, I don't know. I like them a lot this year. I think they're going to do pretty well. It's an elusive group. That group is too elusive, says Ricky. But I don't know, bro. Stormcat.
Silver, hey, you got to take at least one quarterback at the turn. You get 2 picks. You definitely got to take a quarterback, or you're going to have almost no chance. That's just the way that this Superflex works. So good luck to you. Choose whoever you think the best QB is, and then whichever position player you think.
That's Stormcat giving you some Superflex advice, Silver, through the voice message group. What am I, a middleman now? Am I a middleman, Stormcat? You just come on my show and talk to Grandma? Here, leave a message for Grandma. I'm going to leave a message for Grandma through Smitty's show.
I've got an amazing question. If you had to take a bet for $1 million, and
Kevin,
that $1 million bet is saying that Breece Hall is going to be a top 8 running back, or the other bet is Cam Akers finishes outside of the top 25, which bet are you taking for $1 million?
Breece Hall. Only because Cam Akers, like, finishing inside the top 25 isn't that crazy. Like, if I pull up a league right here, let's see who the number 25 running back is and what their stats look like. Because I'm gonna let me make this decision after I look at this. So, looking at stat leaders, 2021 stats, running backs, number 25. 25 was Miles Gaskin and James Robinson. So 600 yards rushing, 3 rushing TDs, 170 yards receiving. So you're talking about 600 yards, 3 TDs, 150 receiving roughly. You're also talking about like Darrell Henderson's right around there. 688 yards, 5 TDs, 150 receiving. Total touchdowns about 7, 8. Yeah, I mean, I think you could do that and then get hurt and then literally miss, you know, half of a season still, you know, or something like that, or struggle. So I would say give me Breece Hall if I had to make that bet, you know. Carter, the number 3 elusive running back. Again, Andrew cannot leave it alone. Andrew, Melvin Gordon does not hold a candle to Javonte Williams. And I haven't done this yet. I've tried to keep a positive vibe here after you left the call, but whoops, wrong button. I'm trying, Andy. I'm trying to keep you out of the press. I mean, it's almost like he just loves flying close to the sun. I don't know what it is. You know, like it's almost to the point where like, is he joking? I feel like he might be joking at this point. Like it's too crazy. It's too crazy to keep holding on to that. Like now he's going after PFF. Now he's attacking one of the biggest stat generators and most respected. Like he probably thinks PFF is some made up like mom and pop shop. Like this is one of the most respected stat generating like operations out there, bro. Like if PFF comes out with it, like it's a good stat they collected. It's not something that they on Wednesdays when the rash cream was used appropriately, this running back in evening games had the best yards per carry. This is Pro Football Focus, bro. Okay? I mean, he's going after PFF. He's not even going after me anymore. He's moved on to PFF. He's literally trying to tear him down. He's trying to tear him down. He won't buy it, that's for sure. Not going to buy that garbage. What's up, Smitty? See, Andrew, look what you're doing. I left it alone, but you keep poking the bear, bro. You keep trying to fly close to the sun. What's a PFF? Is that points for fun? Points forward for forward running backs that are running forward? What's a PFF? What's a points for what? What's a PFF, Smitty? I do appreciate the call because it was fun. it was fun. I just think in Andrew's eyes, he sees this as a victory. And I think he sees everybody on his side. I don't know, man. I don't know, bro. I don't know what's going on in his head right now. But let me just put it this way, Andrew. There's no argument. You have no argument and you're still going on about it. That's the part I don't understand. Is you literally got blasted to pieces, bro. And I appreciate your attempt at it. I appreciate it, but you got blasted. And now you're not reading the room. God, as a little PF Flyers. Oh. You talking about that? This is Silver. You're talking about them PF Flyers. Take those PF Flyers under the sandlot. I think I talk just like Silver with the megaphone on. You take those PF Flyers. Those PF Flyers don't got anything on that PFF. PFF rating. How many steps can you take at a PF Flyer? He takes bigger steps than Gordon in PF Flyers. That's what PFF stands for. Silver out. Where were we at? Yeah, to answer that long-winded question was who asked that question? Was that Kevin?
Actually, let's call the Cam Akers bet top 15, not top 25.
Oh, it's changing.
Cam Akers finishes outside of the top 15.
Good thing he didn't hear me say I'd
for $1 million.
Good thing he didn't hear me say I'd take the other one still. Yeah. Oh man. Later, Blackbeard. Appreciate you. What's up? Unbelievable.
Yo, Smitty, what are your thoughts on the Patriots wide receiver core?
Okay,
or just
Kenny, I
receiver
got
core
it.
in general. Do you think any wide receivers are going to come out of there that are fantasy relevant?
I'm gonna stop you right there, TM, and not even let you finish the question. No, I'll let you finish, but no.
What are your thoughts on the rookie, Tyquan Thornton, and whatnot?
No, I'm not even interested in Patriot players. And he's still after it. He's still after it. And he cannot accept. So the elusive rating, Andy, they're not making it up. They're not just predicting. It's off of missed tackles forced per attempt. So let me explain something about the stats that I threw at you, Andy. And this might hit kind of sideways. I don't know if you're gonna absorb it because you're just hearing one thing and you're just going at it. It's not even going in the ear, Andy. You're just running into a wall head first over and over. You're like Cam Akers. You lower your head and you just go straight into the wall, bro. I gave you a stat, broken tackles. Why did I give you that stat? Because that is one of the most telling stats for a running back. Let me put Javonte on screen because I'm talking about Javonte. I'm probably gonna rant for a minute. Javonte. Why did I give you that stat? Because there's the only thing in my favor? Because it told my story? No. I gave you that stat because number one in in broken tackles is one of the most telling stats when you have volume. Okay, this guy didn't even have the volume. Do you understand what that means? If he had played a full season as a starter, he could have broke 50 tackles instead of 31. Like, let me put this number on. And Andy, I want you to really pay attention to this because this can help you, bro. Instead of just being stubborn and continuing to speak about something that you already lost and you're trying to establish some sort of, let me put every graphic I can on Javonte. Here's another PFF. I know you're not going to respect the PFF. What's the PFF, Smitty? Here's the PFF again. Here's this untrusted, shady PFF stat. Don't even know what it is. Like, I'm bringing you 3 different things, okay, that are very vital to predicting running back success. Number 1, broken tackles. Harris had 30 broken tackles. Taylor had 25. Chubb had 23. Javonte had 31. Ask yourself this question, Andy. Ask yourself this question. If this guy did this at halftime, not percentage like over here, first in forced missed tackles and missed tackle rate. These are 2 different things, right? Forced missed tackle rate versus forced or actually broken tackles. They're completely different stats. If this is first, you could use the argument of volume. Okay, well, he didn't have the same volume. If he had a full season, maybe he would have been less effective. This stat, you can't say that with. This stat, you literally are saying that Javonte Williams playing halftime broke more tackles halftime than these guys that played the whole year as the starter. Think about what that means. What would Javonte have done with a full season? 60? What if Javonte broke 60 tackles? What would you be saying, Andy? Like, this man played half of a season, essentially, when you break it down. And he was number 1 in the NFL. Number 1 in the NFL. Number 1 in the NFL. These are all different categories, bro. Elusiveness, forced missed tackle rate, broken tackles, the number, the actual number, not a rate, the amount of tackles. What more could you possibly need to at least accept my argument, Andy, and say, Smitty, I get you. Okay, I disagree. I feel like Melvin Gordon's just going to be in the way or something. But no, you're actually coming at my Javonte Williams take and not just talking about Melvin Gordon and focusing on Melvin Gordon. I mean, like, let's get real. These numbers are staggering. And there's nothing that was won tonight on the other side of the fence, Andy. I'm sorry. Let's go to the next voice message. TM, I'm sorry I didn't answer your question fully. I'm not investing in any Patriot players really at all. You know, maybe Ramondre Stevenson later or something, but like that's it. That's literally it.
Hey, Smitty. How you doing, buddy? I got a quick question for you. Are you worried at all about Alberto losing the starting job at tight end with Greg Dulcich pushing him pretty good? Who do you like going forward as the starting tight end for Denver?
You know, I feel like I liked Alberto a lot. I loved how they were talking him up and they were saying they're going to move him out at wide receiver a lot. And then they draft this kid, right? And then now you don't hear much talk. And now they're going to compete for the job, according to a report I heard. And we don't know how true that is. But I'd probably say that I back off on him a little bit. And I've even not drafted him in a couple leagues when he was kind of an early favorite of ours in the community as like a dark horse. So I'd probably say, you know, I avoid him for now. Let's see here. Super chat. Okay, I'm sorry. We're about out of here anyway. We've gone live for 2 hours and 13 minutes. Back-to-back shows of over 2 hours. It's crazy. We've been absolute monsters in here. Super chat from Russian Collusion, and that's a big one. That's a $10. Should we stand up for that?
Let's go! Mashed potatoes!
Appreciate you, Russian. Buddy. Appreciate you. And his question was, Melvin career average per run 4.2 yards each year, 877 average TD 7.5, 7-year average yards before Denver, 4.04. With those yearly stats, he's a number 3 running back. Am I wrong? So this is what I tried to tell him. And now you know what Andy's going to hear? You said 3.9. I say all the time 3.9 to 4.0 yard per carry pedestrian running back. And all he hears is 3.9, 3.9, 3.9, 3.9. Like 4.04. I couldn't be more. I couldn't be more on point with my trying to spitball it from memory. You know, he averages barely 4 yards per carry. He's pedestrian. He's always been pedestrian. He's always been a volume. He needs volume. Volume in order to get it done. Denver's been a great place for him. I am out of here. Appreciate every single one of you. We should be live tonight to do some mock drafting or just at least a Q&A, on the streets of Phoenix. So look for me there. The Fantasy Football Show is where you get your one-on-one text advice, your bold predictions, your rankings. I've been doing this 20 years, and my bold predictions are probably the most popular thing that I have going on every single year because that's where the magic happens. The top 12 or so bold predictions. That's where the Mahomes was. That's where Josh Allen was. Both of them were on my top 1 to 5 for quarterbacks when no one even liked these guys. Josh Allen was made fun of. He wasn't ever going to be accurate. Alvin Kamara was on this list when he was like the 5th or 6th overall rookie taken in rookie-only drafts. Everyone said he couldn't be a full-time guy. This bold prediction list is what you need to win your league. It's all at thefantasyfootballshow.com, as is my one-on-one text advice. I respond to every comment. I'll see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, unless news breaks, because I go live whenever news breaks. That was a mouthful. Appreciate everybody. Like, subscribe. See you all tomorrow.
Get breached. Get breached. Get breached.
People are getting burrowed left and right, and people are going to
get lambed. Get breached. Get breached. Get breached. Get